Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to improve our vocabulary. Today is our vocabulary lesson number 70. Lesson number 70, let's see what we have first word for today. The very first word that we have, as we spoke yesterday, if you watched yesterday's review, day number 69, I'm going to quickly go over and recapitulate what we said yesterday. Summarize, and if you do not know the word recapitulate, it's time that we learn it. When did we learn the word recapitulate? I know we did learn it. Just give me 1 second and I'll tell you exactly when we learned the word recapitulate. Recapitulate means to summarize something, to go over something very quickly, but we have already done. We did it on day number 32. Day number 32, recapitulate. Most people do not bother to say the word recapitulate in its entirety. They tend to abbreviate it, and the abbreviated form is recap, which almost everybody knows. Recap actually is not a real word, it's an abbreviation of the word recapitulate. Do you understand? Learn the word recapitulate on day number 32. Watch the video if you have not watched it, and also learn the meaning of the word capitulate. The word capitulate and the word recapitulate have nothing to do with each other. Do you understand? Watch the video and learn it. Anyway, so let me quickly recapitulate what we said yesterday. What we said yesterday was that there are 3 levels of vocabulary. The first level is where you sort of know the word. It's not completely alien to you. It's not a word that you've never seen before. The word is not completely alien to you. You have come across this many times. You sort of know the word. That's the first level. But if somebody were to approach to you and ask you what does the word mean, you are not able to articulate exactly what the word means. Well, that's the first level. The second level is where you know the word so well that if somebody were to ask you what does it mean, you are able to articulate it precisely exactly what the word means, but it has not yet become part of your working vocabulary. You still hesitate, you're not confident about using it in your speech, you're not confident about using it in your writing because it's the second level. Third level is where you mastered it so well that it becomes part of your working vocabulary. The very first word we're going to learn here is a word which is at the second level of my vocabulary. So I want to learn it so well so that it becomes part of my working vocabulary. The word is very simple, very straightforward, and I don't know why I hesitate to use it in my speech or writing. I haven't quite mastered it yet. It's not part of my working vocabulary yet, and I want to bring it up there. Do you understand? The word is purportedly. What does it mean, purportedly? Purportedly simply means supposedly. Supposedly. Which simply means something that is assumed to be such. Assumed to be such. Something that's claimed. That's what they say. That's what they say, purportedly. For example, if you ask somebody, well, is the delivery going to arrive tomorrow? If the delivery is going to actually arrive tomorrow, and the person replied, supposedly. Supposedly means they have a little skepticism. They are not sure about it. They are skeptical. They're not 100% sure if that's true. The guy told me that it's going to arrive tomorrow. The delivery guy told me that it's going to deliver tomorrow, but I don't quite 100% believe him. Supposedly, purportedly. Well, that's what he says. That's what he claims. He says he's going to be here tomorrow. Who knows? Do you understand? Yes. Did he do the homework? Did he finish the homework? Well, purportedly. Meaning that you are not 100% sure. You're showing a little skepticism. What you're saying is that supposedly. He told me that he did the homework. I don't know. I'm not quite 100% sure. Do you understand? Because you can't really go by what he says. That's what it means. Purportedly. Let's learn the next word, shall we? The next word is, I need the room. Again, the word was purportedly, which means supposedly, which means you're showing a little bit of doubt, you're showing a little bit of skepticism. Let's put the next word here so we don't have to erase it. The next word is ostensible. What does ostensible mean? Let's first learn the pronunciation. Ostensible means something that gives the appearance of truth, something that gives you the appearance of something, what something appears to be on the surface, something that what it appears to be on the surface, to give the appearance of something that it is not, to give appearance of something that what it is not. For example, you might say that Michael's, for example, I'm just making it up here, impromptu. You might say that Michael's ostensible purpose for going to the church with me was because he told me he wanted to pray. But of course I know that he went with me to the church because he was hoping he would see that girl again whom he saw last Sunday. He saw somebody, some girl, and he was hoping that he was going to meet her again, which is why he tagged along with me to the church this Sunday. But his ostensible reason was because he wanted to pray. That's what he told me, he wanted to pray. But of course we know what his real reason is. His real motive was something else. But his ostensible reason, the reason that he claimed, is that he wanted to go pray. That was his ostensible reason. Do you understand? A politician might show up at an orphanage because he's such a caring guy. He's such a caring guy. He's such a he cares so much about these poor little children. That's his ostensible reason. He wants to come across as a caring person. That's his ostensible reason. I'm here because I care. But of course we all know the real reason why he's there is because his election is coming up. And he's just canvassing. You understand? Oh, there's a good word, canvas. We'll learn this in the future. He's not exactly canvassing in the strictest sense of the word. In other words, he's not going door to door asking for your vote, but he's campaigning. You understand? We'll learn this word canvas. I'm making a note to myself here. It's a good word to learn. We have not learned it. It has two meanings, of course. To canvas. One is the canvas as a noun. A canvas is where you do the portrait, where you paint something. But to canvas as a verb means to campaign because you are running for an office. Do you understand? So a politician might say, well, I'm here at the orphanage because I care so much about the little children. But that's his ostensible reason. Of course, we know the real reason because he's up for re-election. He wants to come across as a good guy. Do you understand? Let's move on then. Next word. Of course, we need the room. We're going to have to erase the top word. Next word is also very straightforward. Very simple word. And I don't know why I haven't quite mastered it yet, where I start using it in my speech or in my writing. I haven't quite mastered it that well. And I hesitate. That's the problem. When you have not mastered a word well enough, you will hesitate using it in your speech, using it in your writing, even though you understand the word. I know the word, I know the meaning. When I see it in the writing, when I hear somebody use the word, I know exactly what the word means. But I haven't owned it yet. I do not own it yet. It is still a vocabulary word. I don't want it to be a vocabulary word. I just want it to be a word, just like any other word. And the word is this word right here. It's a very simple word. You know what this word is? How do you pronounce it? It's pronounced to y. To y. It has two meanings. Let's erase all of this thing. It has two meanings, so we can cover both of them separately. It has two meanings. First meaning, to y for something. It's a verb. First meaning, to y for something, means to shoot for victory. It means to take part in a contest or a competition. To take part in a contest or a competition. To compete. That's what it means. It's right here, competition. It means to compete. Why do I have so much trouble spelling simple word? Compete. C-O-M-P. The hell, compete. So if you're going to compete for something, you are going to vie for it. To vie means to compete, to take part in the competition, to shoot for a victory, to shoot for a first position. For example, you might say that she vies for the first place. She vies for the first place means that she is shooting for the first place, she's competing, she's contending for the first place. He vies for promotion. But there you go, contend, that's a good word, to contend. To contend. And we'll learn this word separately in a second. So that's the first meaning. It means to take part in a competition, to vie. The second meaning of the word vie is to place a wager, to wager, to bet. You understand? To bet for something, to bet on something, to wager, it means to vie. Let's learn the word contend, shall we? This word contend here, where can we put it? Just give me a second. Contend also means two things, it has two meanings. This word here, contend. It also has two meanings, so we're going to put both of them on the blackboard. The first meaning we already know, to contend for something, means to vie for something, to take part in a competition, to engage in some sort of a contest. Do you understand? So that's the first meaning. To strive or to shoot for something. As we said a little while ago, Maria is vying for the first place. She is taking part in the competition, but she's not hoping to just win a second or third or fourth place. She's vying for the first place. She wants to win the championship. She's vying for the championship. Michael is vying for a promotion. He's shooting for a promotion. He's hoping for a promotion. He's contending. He's competing for the promotion. Among all the people who want the promotion, he's the one to be one. He wants to be the one to be chosen for the new position. He's vying for it. He's contending for it. To shoot for something. To take part. In a competition. It's the same as before. It's no difference. To vie. This meaning is the same. We already learned it 2 seconds ago. Why? What's the second meaning? What's the second meaning of the word contend? So one meaning of the word contend is to take part in a competition. And if you are contending for something, the noun for that would be a contender. The noun is contender. Now at this point, for those of you who are very young, what I'm about to say will make no sense at all, but some people, I don't know how many, but some of you might recall a very old movie, I don't know which movie it is, but very classic movie. The line in that movie was, I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. I could have vied for something great. Do you understand? Let's learn the second meaning, shall we? Second meaning is to assert your point. If you said something and you want to make sure that people understand that that's your position, even though the other person is saying something contradictory, you want to assert your point, you want to contend. That is my contention. Yes, that's my assertion. I'm telling you, that's how it is. I assure you that is true. I'm contending. I'm asserting. Do you understand? That is my contention. That is my assertion. That Michael, on that night, was not in the house. He was somewhere else. Do you understand? I'm asserting it. I'm making my point forcefully, vehemently. Did we ever learn the word vehement? We'll find out in a second. To assert your point, to maintain that what you are saying, maintain that what you're saying is valid or true. What you're saying is valid or true. I don't know if you can read my atrocious handwriting. True. Atrocious. I don't know how to spell it. We'll learn it in the future. Atrocious, hideous, horrible. And the noun, of course, would be contention or assertion. To assert. Very good. To assert. You see? Assertion. So depending on how the word is used, if you use the word contend as in to take part in a competition, then the person who is contending, the person who is taking part in the competition, it has to be a person, and that person is referred to as a contender. Or else, if you're asserting your point, if you're making a point, you're saying that this is my theory, and I'm maintaining, I'm asserting, I'm contending that this theory is true, this theory is valid. In that case, whatever it is that you're claiming to be true, that thing is called an assertion or a contention. But it's not a person, obviously. Do you understand? Let's move on then. There is one more word, one last word I want to learn today, which has absolutely nothing to do with what we've been talking about so far, an entirely different word. I want to learn this word, I want to learn this next word because of its pronunciation, which is why I always tell you, always make a habit of writing the pronunciation, because you can't just go by what the word looks like, by spelling of it, you understand? Otherwise you're going to end up making a fool of yourself. The next word we want to learn is as you can see, it's spelled I-M-B-R-O-G-L-I-O. How would you pronounce it? You can't just go by the look of it. You have to know how to pronounce it. It is pronounced imbroglio. 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 It's a noun. What's an imbroglio? An imbroglio is a complicated, tricky, sticky situation that you find yourself in. You find yourself stuck in a sticky situation. What is an imbroglio? Somehow you're going to have to find a way to extricate yourself from it. You got yourself in a mess. Now you got to extricate yourself from it. Do you understand? It's a sticky, complicated situation. An imbroglio is a sticky, complicated, difficult, or confused situation. It's a complicated, difficult, sticky, confused situation. It's a mess, basically. You've got yourself in a mess. Now you have to somehow get yourself out of it. Somehow you have to find a way to extricate yourself. Do you understand? A situation, or it could be a situation. It could be a situation. It could be an argument, a disagreement. It could be a quarrel. It could be an argument. You might you might find yourself, it's a sticky situation, as I said before. You might find yourself in an imbroglio with your boss, with your colleague, with your spouse, and somehow you have to get the hell out of there. Somehow you have to find a way out of there, rather, what I meant to say. Somehow you have to find a way out of there. Somehow you need to extricate yourself from that imbroglio. Let's learn it, but I've been using it several times. The word is extricate. It's a verb, obviously. Extricate, which means to free oneself, to free or to release oneself from a difficult situation, difficult or sticky situation, difficult or sticky situation, to disengage, to disengage, to disentangle, to disentangle yourself from a situation means to free yourself from it. You got yourself in a mess. You said one lie, and then to cover that lie you said another lie, and that didn't work, so now you have to cover those two lies. You said something else, you made up yourself. You got yourself in a big freaking mess. You got yourself in a bloody situation here. You got to extricate yourself. What you have on your hand is an imbroglio. It could be an argument, it could be a situation, it could be a quarrel, it could be anything. A sticky situation where one needs to extricate oneself. Extricate means to free yourself from it. Do you understand? That's all I have for today. That's all we'll do. As you can see, we're not in a hurry. I like to go at a very leisurely pace. Don't turn it into a chore. Don't turn it into work. Try to enjoy it. Try to get something out of it. Learn the words for the sake of learning them. Don't sit there and say, I have to learn 300 words by next week or next month for this particular exam or that particular exam. That will defeat the purpose. Of course, you want to improve your vocabulary before you take a big test, whether it's SAT or GRE or GMAT or whatever it may be. Of course, you want to improve your vocabulary before the big test, but that in itself should not be the end. That in itself should not be the final ultimate goal. Learn the word purely for the sake of improving your language. You understand? And the reward will come automatically. That was the sermon. I just finished my sermon. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.